we're finishing up a league. We kind of had a bit of a disappointing start with this Mardu General League, but I'm unfazed, and I think we're going to hopefully bring home the rest of this league. We had a very, very close game against our first round opponent, who was actually on humans featuring Shardless. Their Shardless Cascades were pretty solid. They weren't hitting nonsense cards like extra Aether Vials or Noble Hierarchs. They were hitting things like Thalia's Lieutenant. And there was one point in Game 2, it's either 2 or 3, I think this was Game 3 actually, where we had a very clear, yeah, it was in hindsight that it was clear, but basically we had a choice of a turn to either slam General or to play a removal spell. In the end, it turned out that we should have played the removal spell. We're jamming with a Gigantha now. Nice, 2 lands. Blood Moon's a bit awkward in this hand, but I'm going to keep this. Let's go ahead and say, hey, good luck and have fun to our opponent. Ah, humans again, huh? Okay. We're not going to have time to do the Croxa later. We might as well do it now. Get a card. Maybe they'll just discard a land even. It's probably a redundant Thalia. Now the other line we had, of course, was to Thoughtseize them. I think I'm happy with our choice. I think I'm happy with our choice. These Thoughtseize will get a lot worse. It's funny for us to run into humans twice like this. Not haha funny, like kind of like, is this what people are doing? So I could be very greedy and just take the Charming Prince and then call against command, make them discard, and blow up the Aether Vial next turn. I think that's what I'm tempted to do. Ah, so they do draw third land here. So you see them go Shardless. They get a Prince. They're going to scry 2. They top, that's pretty terrifying. That is indeed a problem. I mean, I'm thinking I make them discard and pop the Aether Vial, but I mean, we're not Blood Mooning, right, with the way that this hand is shaped up. Maybe I'm just better off killing both of their threats. Maybe I'm better off... Yeah. It might be better to kill Agent because if we draw a Fatal Push, it's easier to kill Charming Prince. So it's maybe kill Agent, make them discard. I think just because we didn't draw any of our fetches or basics, the Blood Moon's pretty dead for the moment. I think 2 for 1-ing here is correct. Down goes the Mantis Rider. This is another Shardless. This is a Shardless into a Thalia. Number chosen 3. I think I still wouldn't moon, even with basic planes now. I don't think I'd moon even still. And I certainly can't if I don't kill the Sanctum Prelate. Gross. Yeah, I just think with the Aether Vial, not so much the basic island they've drawn, but like with the Aether Vial going, I don't think the Blood Moon is really a thing this game. I wonder if I should just grab the Triome here. Here we are taking bunches. Down to 6. Draw the second Blood Moon. I play Croxa, I'm still dead. I Dreadbore, the Prelate, I'm still dead. Yeah, no, I mean, Shardless maybe really makes humans quite a bit better. Alright, so what did we bring in last time? I think we did lose game 1 against humans last time as well, and then it took the sideboard games for us to get it. Thoughtseize always kind of feels not the greatest, but I feel like, I don't know, we kind of need to dig into their hand, though, and kind of stop their quick starts. I'm moving to just a 3-of Discovery. I think I also just don't have a lot of time to dawdle and sit back and just, like, kind of do that in this matchup. Maybe I should just cut them all. Because that was something that happened in our first round when we faced humans and actually lost because of it. I also wonder if I should just have a Singleton Moon and Singleton Needle. I mean, it's nice to cut off Vial and then just shut them out of their deck, but I think the last time we did this, when I had both, or when I had all of the Discoveries in, that was just wrong. I just don't think I have time to do that. So I think cutting some of those is correct. Let's run it like this. The Malakir Rebirth, of course, here is a land drop. Like, see, this hand, in theory, could maybe... We need, like, one more fetch. This hand also has General Ferris. I'm not going to crack this fetch because we don't know if we want it to be the swamp or the plains. There's an Aether Vial. It's more likely for me to hit the swamp naturally. Don't really want to slow down. Let's just slam General. If they have the Reflector Mage, so be it. Looks like they might. Noble Hierarch. Okay. What's up, Cylon? We're back up to 20, which is great. Such a difference when we're on the play. They choose Lightning Helix. Pay to push. I don't cut them off a whole lot due to the Noble Hierarch. Let's take a gander. It's nothing. Good to know. Little flyboy. Little flyboy action. We've got the ground locked pretty tight, even with just one golem. Can also just needle the Hierarch. Like, kill the Mantis Rider. Needle the Hierarch. We could also just take another turn of being hit by the Mantis Rider. Like, I could spend this turn just needling Hierarch and Blood Mooning. And that cuts them off of quite a few top decks. Obviously, I'm cutting myself off black, though, which is dangerous because I have a Dreadbore in my hand. I think what I'm supposed to do is dread the Meddling Mage that's naming Helix and needle the Noble, actually. Yeah, let's dread this. They don't have great blocks. So I take it. Got a new board game today called Moonrakers. It's a space pirate negotiation deck builder. That sounds awesome, Cylon. Oh, you know what I misplayed? I was supposed to name their lands. Why am I sitting here thinking this works in Noble Hierarch? I'm thinking of Phyrexian Revoker. I'll have to say lol. I was thinking of Revoker. That's hilarious. Ooh, spicy, they've got Recruiter. So I basically just threw away a card. I should have named, like, Canopy, or probably more likely Aether Vial. I don't know why, maybe Noble. That's dumb of me. Not going to play great. It's late. I'll try. So Recruiter for Lieutenant. That is not good. To add insult to injury. They're only crashing in, though, with their flyer. But I'm probably... I don't know, I'm liable to lose to the Mantis Rider now that it's big enough. Ooh, Metamorphose, though, might save us from my blunder. Morphos for Helix colors, I think. Godless Shrine to draw. So I could Helix the Lieutenant, because it's going to grow. Might also be good to just toast this other Medley Mage, because I could draw. There's a 2 of Fatal Push. Gain some much needed life. Yeah, I'm not in love with playing the Blood Moon now. I don't gain a ton from even playing out the Godless Shrine, because we do still have a 2 of the Thrilling Discovery in right now. I mean, I might even be better off just like putting the Gigantha in my hand. I don't think that's worth the 2 life points though, but that would be a reason for me to play out my 5th land. Is that I'm working towards this. It's more likely that I'm working towards that than anything else. Do I just want to swing 1 golem? I think we swing 2. That's fine by me. We're very, very happy if they're doing some blocking. Say okay. Oh, is this another rider? This could be a Recruiter. Yeah, maybe I should have shocked to put Gigantha into my hand, because this is getting rough. Still just the Mantis Rider, plowing ahead. Down to 6 though. Kaya takes out the Noble. We get another Golem. Kaya gains me life. I mean, we're getting another Golem. Yeah, Kaya take out the Noble Hierarch. Can't attack because of how large the Mantis Rider is. We're in trouble. I need a top deck again. I need them not to. Yeah, those Recruiters adding some consistency seem pretty good. Sanctum. That's going to grow one of the lieutenants to a 5/5, which is huge in this case. So I go to 1. Get you an Inquisition of Kozilek. That does not cut it. And I can't force lethal. I am upset with myself that I misnamed here. I was supposed to name Vile or something else. If I'd put Gigantha in my hand, would it have changed things? I'd slammed the Blood Moon earlier. No, I never actually ended up seeing a black source, so I don't think I was supposed to do this. A little curious what their last card is. I don't think it's anything, though. Probably just a land. Games. Good luck with the rest of your league. Gosh, this is making me think. Like, it's funny because even after our first round with humans, I added a second bolt to the deck, just thinking I wanted more bolts. Gosh, if humans is just like all abouts, that's crazy for us to run into it twice in a row. Like, it's not insane for us to run into the same deck twice in a whole league, but it's kind of sad to run into the deck literally 2 matches in a row. And we're sitting here fooling around with like some of these mid-rangey cards we're trying out, like Nahiri and Showdown, when really we just need more Clarion if you want to win that matchup. So make those adjustments. Like, that match was making me feel like I just want a whole bunch of Helixes. That matchup. It's making me wonder. All right, well, let's win this out. Let's win out. Let's just win out. We can do it. This hand is in need of another land. This has maybe too many lands, but it has 2 basics with the moon. I could even put back the Rebirth. This hand's a little bit worse without the amulet, of course. Blood Moon's great in this matchup, so I'll take the amulet. Silence has no green mana anyway. Oh, what? To think about the Explorer or even Prime Time? Please give us a different red source. Gosh, am I going to have to stick General with nothing but... Alright, well, let's play out the Marsh Flats to see if we draw a different land. I mean, they're not pressuring me yet. I might just get to play General Ferris and then Moons. Like, the fact that we're on the play is huge. It's like night and day. Just gonna explore. Is he gonna play Saga? Gosh, I wonder if I just want to slam this. Would really, really love a different red source. We didn't get it. So they'll get 1 construct. Am I confident that the deck is going to give us what we need? That it's going to give us the... no, I'm not. I'm not necessarily confident that we're going to natural into the Xaxes. So let's just get our threat on the table. They don't have a lot of ways to answer him. And let's just get him on the table. and maybe slam a Blood Moon behind him, and maybe that'll be good enough. We'll still have Gigantha. It's not like I'm not going to have anything. We'll still have the entire red-black side of our deck, and a 3-1 going to town. Well, not exactly. They're going to make a construct in response to the Blood Moon. But it'll be a 1-1. Are we going to copy the Urza Saga, or are we going to copy the Valakut? We're going to copy the Breeding Pool, actually. I think we want to slam the Moon, right? It's the difference between fighting 1 versus 2 constructs. And yeah, we just drew a Manamorphose. Let's be confident. Let's be confident in our deck. Hey, what's up, Raccoon? How's it going, my friend? We do have these Manamorphoses, CCs. Let's go Thrilling Discovery colors. I think. We could keep the Terminate in theory. We're just interested in multicolored cards now. Or that, because it's mana efficient. I do want to make land drops because Gigantha. Swing a 3. It's been a bit since I've seen you, Raccoon. Glad to hear that you're doing all right. Discovery, can't cast. I can cast the Terminate. I can put the Gigantha into my hand. They've had enough. They've had enough. You know what's funny about Titan is if you just Thoughtseize Titan, you can extract, or you like can extract Amulet. I wonder sometimes if that's like the cheeky kind of plays that I need to do against them sometimes. Just a thought. You seem bad. So that's a 60. Do we like that 60? I don't know how I feel about Croxa. I feel like the Clean to Dust can go. I don't know if I want Croxas. I guess I keep the Croxas. They represent 2 golems each. Do we want like Nahiri? Do we want Showdown? Maybe Nahiri. Maybe I'm supposed to play Kaya because Kaya hits Amulet. Maybe that was a mistake. Gigantha. Well, we've got the Vandal Blast for Amulet. Probably keep this. It's no Blood Moon hand, though. Cavern Name Giant. Play Amulet. Proceed to blast it. Blast it all. Let's go get our Blood Crypt and blast it all. Oops, cancel. I like how this hand's shaping up. Inquisition gets some information, see which land we need to blow up, if any. Might have a second amulet even. Expedition. Okay. Saga. I may want a Morphos, actually. It's more likely I draw the swamp naturally, so it's just Morphos here. Ooh, we hit. That's hilarious. I was just guessing it'd be sweet if I hit another hand hate spell, so I floated black in the small chance that I got to do that. And I get to strip their hand completely. Now you might be sitting there like, oh, well, Bruce Spy, don't get ahead of yourself. Like, they're going to start making, you know, constructs. I know. That's what their tick does. Ooh, they can't do it yet, though. So I could nuke the Urza Saga, which is awkward because, but no, I mean, I think it might be right to do so. I'm actually going to name like Elder or Giant because we already have plenty of colors for General Ferris. Let's go with Elder. Let's Vind the Saga. So they're going to map in response. It's fine. I guess I could have maybe, in theory, gone after, like, Castle. Which might have been correct. Well, they have a Selesnya Sanctuary. Oh, wow, they grab a Forest? Okay, so they're thinking Blood Moon. I respect that. That's good news for us, though, that they're not just going and getting another Saga. Little do they know. I think they did the right thing. Just happens to benefit us. Alright, so Morphos. Discovery. I think I'm comfortable playing the 4th land out. We need to get something going here, folks. Can't just sit here doing nothing. Guess we're continuing to dig. So there's Rebirth, there's a Nahiri. Put Gigantha in my hand, get the basic Swampy. One, two, three, four. I think I'll risk it. They could, in theory, Titan next turn. So that would be where it would be nice for me to have the Kai's Guile open. But I'm just gonna put Gigantha in my hand. Yeah, I do think this many Thrillings is wrong. I think 2 or 3 was the sweet spot actually for that card. So we're gonna bring it back down to maybe a 2 of. They decide not to do anything. That's good. Do we just get the Nahiri going then? I feel like I'm more interested in getting her going than just playing a 5/5. You dig? You dig, folks? Dump the Rebirth. Like, as awkward as Dreadbore is, I'm going to dump the Rebirth. Drew a different land. I don't think I play that out. Like, I can double spell or play Gigantha next turn if I... actually, black, red, yeah, Kaya's. Okay, so I'm not going to do this. I mean, like, it might be correct to get basic swamp. But we haven't found our Blood Moon yet. I think we just kick it back to our opponent. There's a Yavi. Terminate. That's much better than the Dreadbore. I think even still, I'll still discard flats. Surgical. Cancel. Well, Surgical the prime time during their draw step. Their deck does a whole lot less after we do that. Oh wow, Foundation Breaker. So they really don't want to lose to Blood Moon, huh? Their deck does do a lot less without the Titans. They're basically just a bunch of sagas, some removal. They do have Dryad Valakut, but they have to kind of natural it. Their deck is just a lot less. Their deck is just a lot less without Titan. So I think the bringing in the Singleton Surgical was actually kind of sweet. Grab all these Titans. I wouldn't scoop. I would make me have the Emrakul, which I don't. Well, we beat Titan, but we lost to Humans twice, so let's readjust the deck a little bit to not lose to the new Humans deck. The rehash of Humans. Let's retune the deck to do that, but we did beat Amulet, which is great. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to put our 2 copies of Moon into the main board. Amulet being popular. What about Plague Engineers? Yeah, Plague Engineers could be where it's at with Humans. I'm not running like any Unearths though, but I don't hate the idea of Plague Engineer. Cool thing about Engineer is it's opponent's control, so like that's true. There's people trying to make elves work. There are people trying to make merfolk work, but those are kind of niche. Let's just win out. Let's just win out. Let's just do it. Sand seems fun. I do think we're running enough fetches for the Blood Moons to be happy. The couple of Blood Moons we're playing, I think. We also have Metamorphose, so we really shouldn't concern ourselves that much. So opponent mulligans. They're going to Thoughtseize me. Take my Thoughtseize. You like how I predicted that? So predictable, Bruce Spy. So predictable. How predictable of you. And they do nothing. So you kind of want to get a gauge on my opponent, see what's going on. What's up? What are you doing? Oh, that's what we're doing. So we're playing against Abzan, and they just natural their basics. I don't care about push, hardly. Hardly. That's not a very scary hand at all. No companion, but I have a companion. So we have something to be doing next turn, even if they don't do anything. I can just put Jegantha into my hand. Granted, that makes it vulnerable to a Thoughtseize, but I don't think I care. We've got a lot of other good gas. I also could just pick it back up from my graveyard with the K command. They're playing against some sort of Abzan. Draw a virtual nothing. The Blood Moon is not going to be a thing, probably. They might have some creature lands, though. I also might just not like to take damage here, but if I'm thinking about my Croxas, I should be grabbing Swampy. Put the Jegantha in my hand. This is a Siege Rhinoceros. Siege Rhinoceros. There's the Blood Moon. Cuts them on green, but it cuts me on white. But then again, I do have a Metamorphose in my hand. But I feel like that's a bad idea. Oh no, we know they have the basic force in their hand. Duh. I don't know why I saw 2 basics and I was like, oh, they don't have another. No, they do. Their hand is force, fatal push. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Rhino. I think I'm just supposed to Kaya's Guile, just because it's mana efficient and I'm getting a little value out of it too. Don't think I'm vindicating. I think I'm just guiling. So we end up with a token. I mean, sure, they might push the token. That's fine. I think that's fine. Let's make them sacrifice it. It's always nice to like answer my opponent's 4 mana spell with my 3 mana spell. And is push 1 unknown. Try to go to combat. They accept. I might want to just fire off a Metamorphose, actually. Ooh, or I draw General. Very good in this matchup, although they could have like an Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. We're very happy if it's Assassin's Trophy. Let's just slam it and force them to have the answer. I'm assuming if they don't have threats, they have answers. I mean, they could go Fatal Push the Spirit into Lily. We do have Kolaghan's Command to try again, though. This looks like Trophy. That's going to go let me get my basic planes, though. So we could maybe set up for this Blood Moon. I'd have to Vindicate them off of black or green. Batterskull. Okay. So probably what I do here is kill their Batterskull, go get back my General. Make sure that's going to be okay. There's an Ephemerate in their hand. I care more about the ephemerate, I think. So let's get back our Build-Around card, kill their Batterskull. Now we have a better understanding of what it is that they are doing. So since they're a Stoneblade list, I think I just want to cut them on white. I could see us vindicating their planes. And then mooning. I don't think I should do any of that, though, without slamming General Ferris. Probably slam General Ferris again. Oh, wow, I have another General Ferris. Swing ya. This spirit's done some damage, yo. This spirit has done some damage. It's been doing some damages. Been doing the damage. Okay. General Ferris. Alright, so we are going to Morphos. I do cut them on a couple cards if I just go for the moon, by the by. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. I think I should just consider vindicating the planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana we're working with. So this would be vindicate the planes. This is Helix behind it, if you're wondering what I'm thinking. We do finally push something. They do finally... They don't push. Okay. I wonder if that tipped them off that I have Blood Moons. Then I started going after their white source. But I went after a basic white source. I wonder if that makes them think I have moons. I would start to think in line with moon. So playing equipment. Accoutrement. They're playing equipments. We want the grindy stuff. Maybe even Needle. Maybe even Kaya. So like these could come in. Probably don't want that. Although, I mean, they might have Lingering Souls. I'm not sure. I don't think Lingering Souls is very good right now, but I think this many discoveries is wrong. I'll still run some number. I think that many discoveries is actually just wrong. I think in these grindy matchups, I don't really want this much hand hate. And I'm sure you're like, no, Bruce, why you can't cut all of it? I know. But I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I want to be able to hit rhinos. I'm more interested in the Thought Seizes than I am the Inquisitions. And I think Needle is kind of like, yes, there's Liliana, yes, there's Stoneforge, yes, there's equipment. I don't know if I want this many, though. I think Helix is weak, actually. I think these are actually quite weak. I almost would rather just have a Thrilling. I think the Kayas are weak, actually, now that I think about it. So that could be some more Thrillings. I don't really want a ton of hand disruption. I want to make sure that my top decks are impactful. This is not a keeper. It's good that we took the first game. This matchup can be tough. We played against a very spicy Abzan. So they're going to keep. I'm going to mulligan. I'm actually just going to tuck a Metamorphose. I think that's a fairly innocent thing for me to do. I'm sure you're like, no, Bruce Spine's your best card. Like, no, they're good. I'm going to tuck it. But they are good. See, we left in our moons, right? Despite not knowing if this is a thing for them. Did leave in my blood moons. Very safely thrilling away this cavern, maybe a land. Very safely. This turn 2 Liliana. Be back to doing turn 2 Liliana in Modern. Looks like it. Yeah, Ignoble's great because it gives you that second black source you need for Lily. A sword. Love to draw an answer to that sword. I would certainly Metamorphose floating colors that would kill sword potentially. But also still cast this. Dump it down. Sword kills General Ferris, so we need to hopefully vindicate that. Oh wow, that's great for us if they're just slapping that on the Hierarch, if that's what they're doing. I mean, I do care that they're drawing the extra card. Yes, certainly, but the fact that they're not disrupting my Vindicate plan is great. They spent 3 mana on the sword, 5 mana overall, right? Even though I'd like to have the basic planes here, because it's harder for me to find the basic planes than the... Well, actually, we already have black, but no, I want to make sure that we can cast Kroxa on 4 mana, so I still will grab the Swampy. Blow this up. So we traded 3 mana for 5 mana, although some of their mana they paid for the sword and the equip was the Noble Hierarch. If they play Lily, we just get to dump the Kroxa. Ooh, Rhino. Okay. May just want to kill the Rhino. I would hate for us to die just because I didn't kill the Rhinos. There's our Kroxa mana. I wish I had the ability to like double spell here. I don't think I should just slam General when it's a very obvious kill target. We almost wouldn't mind 5th land. I think I'm not going to fetch, because 5th land would let me General into Kroxa. No, Siege Rhino. Factual Siege Rhino. Bloodmoon's got to come out after this next game, right? Opponent playing Hierarchs too. Another Siege Rhino. Gross. Okay. Oh boy, Stoneforge. I mean, whatever equipment they get, it's not going to be able to kill General. Sword is really the only equipment that does that. Ooh, Caldra? I might just be dead. Yeah, kind of need to thrilling here, and because I fetched in the way that I fetched, I actually think we're just dead. Don't want to show the sword. So there's push for the Stoneforge. Caldra is a lot. I mean, they might just have enough mana to cast Caldra though, and I kind of also needed to kill the Siege Rhino here. I think I'm just gonna die to the Caldra. That's a little disappointing. A little disappointing, folks. It's a little bit disappointing. Like, they're only one land drop away from just hardcasting Caldra. And Caldra is a problem. One of the ways we've fought Caldra complete in the past is, like, you take your lumps and then you use Kaya to exile the Germ, and then, yeah, ooh, Painful Truths. We're seeing a lot more of our opponent's deck this time. So that's positive, even though we're losing here. I can kind of maybe make some changes to how I sideboard. Although, well, no, now that we've seen Ignoble, maybe the Blood Moon plan's not as solid. Still don't think I can win, right? They take General Ferris, I'm just left with a Sorin. I don't think I can win. I'd rather than not see my Planeswalker. We were going to draw another land maybe, although I might have fetched. I think the Blood Moon plan is a little bit weaker now that I'm seeing that they... Certainly they have all their basics. Well, but I'm on the play this time. It's tempting. Like, it's tempting to just wham jam all of our hand disruption in and try to do this. It's tempting me. Being tempted, chat. Being tempted. I'm actually going to run it like so. I think the combination of Blood Moon Vindicate is really, really nice. It's an angle that, I mean, sure, you can achieve that through different cards, or you could play Blood Moon with, you know, different land destruction spells of your choice to take out basic lands like Pillage. Well, we can't play Pillage if we're going to play Jacantha, but... Let's jam. This hand has a plan. Ish. Maybe they did the same thing we did game 2, take out a lot of their, not all, but a lot of their hand disruption. I'll have considerably weaker top decks because I brought all of mine in for this last game. Plains Grief. That's the old ephemerate trick. So they'll grief and then they'll ephemerate their grief. I'll probably take my Blood Moon and my Thrilling. I could see them taking my Kolaghan's Command and my Blood Moon. I do like that they stacked the triggers properly so they get the information before they do the ephemerate. I don't know if that matters in the grand scheme, because if you accidentally stack them the wrong way, you would just ephemerate and get something different. I can't imagine that this would make them not want to ephemerate. Of course you want to. If you're doing this, you want to do this, Wombo. He took my Metamorphose, actually. They might be able to play around the Blood Moon, which is why they're ignoring it. Looks like they can play around the Blood Moon if they're ignoring it. We know they're going to get to attack our hand one more time. Even still, I think I should be doing my thing. If they're not taking the Blood Moon, that makes me think that they don't care about the Blood Moon. But we'll see what they decide. Like, this Blood Moon might hurt me more than them, depending on what their next land is or if they have a basic in their hand already. They do take the Blood Moon now. Okay. Oh, I'm terrified. They still have 5 cards in their hand. We're just basically working off the top of my library now. Soaring the Drone. Let's do red-white again. I don't have Revolt. To kill the Grief. Awkwardly enough, like playing Sorin against Grief doesn't feel great because of the menace. Thanks for that follow, by the way. Welcome to the Bruce Spy, the Magic Guy Show. Thanks for that whiskey. It is a cutesy little synergy, right? The Grief Ephemerate wonderfulness. Another basic, so they're respecting if I have more moons. Those are the only 2 moons I'm playing. But I appreciate their respecting it. So honestly, one of our better draws might actually be something to give Revolt, so we can kill the Grief. Ferris, huh? Ferris may be what gets killed to give us the Revolt for the Fatal Push. We'll see. Or he lives and we get to slam Sorin. That would be really good. That would be good. Siege Rhino. Alright. Siege Rhino gonna Rhine. Siege Rhino gonna Rhine. Rhino's gonna Rhine. So I have a K command that kills the Grief. Lets me take out the Siege Rhino 2 potentially, depending on like, I'm thinking I'm supposed to do some sequence of K command plus push, right? So let's kick it back to the opponent. Must be intelligent with how we use these. Because we could use the K command to give us the token, which then gives me the Revolt to do the Fatal Push thing. See what happens here. So they're going to ephemerate their grief. I do not have the ability to push the grief. So they're going to get to take my push. And I don't have my other modes. CMC 2 or less. Gross. Of course they had another ephemerate. They were sitting there not doing a whole lot, so I kind of thought there might be an ephemerate over there. At least we still make them discard a card, but that's kind of sucks for us. They take my Sorin. Maybe they're just discarding a land. Man, this is rough. Hopefully we draw some more multicolored stuff. I guess let's not forget I have my companion. So it's not like our next turn is completely a wash. Might be correct for me to just turn this Fatal Push on, actually. Like if I block the Siege Rhino, I can just kill the Siege Rhino with the Fatal Push, or I could even just kill the Grief here. And I'm sure you're like, wait, Bruce Spy, you're giving up the Siege Rhino. I'm going to lose this Fatal Push anyway because of the Ephemerate. I think I'm supposed to take this out and be empty-handed. Or try to get myself empty-handed. So I don't want to put the Gigantha into my hand because we know that they're going to get to Ephemerate. So we'll just go land go. It's very upbeat. So I decide not to cast that Rebounded Ephemerate. Treetop Village. Treetop Village. Does it change my clock if I Bloodstain fetch? It does, so actually I don't think I'm going to. Oh, is this just another Siege Rhine? They love their Siege Rhines. Yeah, it looks like it is. Gosh, I'm just going to die to an onslaught of Siege Rhines. The Siege Rhine knows. Need to draw a multicolored card there. I just died to some Siege Rhinos, yo. I love it. It's not what I would expect. But yeah, and you might be like, Bruce Spy, aren't you embarrassed? No, I'm not embarrassed. The reality of what we died to really is the Grief Ephemerate synergy. I'm sure there's a lot of folks in chat, they're like, no, I want to defend my Rhino. I don't think this is where we're at. But I do think that the Ephemerate Grief in the right, shell can be powerful. I'm dead no matter how I block. Good games. And I'll say good luck the rest of your league. Try to kill the treetop. Another land? Man, some games it makes me wonder if we have too many lands. We don't. I'm only playing 22 lands, which is actually very greedy. And we're kind of relying on the Metamorphoses. We're relying on the discoveries in the Metamorphose. I'm going to go to bed, Steve, after this game. That was a real bummer to, what is it, we played back-to-back humans, and I think we've adjusted to make our humans match up a little bit better. Second Bolt, third Lightning Helix, added a second Clarion to the sideboard. I do think that we've made our humans match up a lot more doable. I haven't been seeing a lot of graveyard decks lately, which is strange. I thought there was a lot of Asmore, like, Vengevine floating around. I haven't seen it really lately. My opponent is having a really rough league. We're at least 1-3. They're 0-3. All right, let's keep this. Yeah, I'm just wondering if we maybe have too many lands, but it doesn't feel like it, but maybe we do because of all the Metamorphose, but I need to get to 4 and 5. I'm just wondering. I'm questioning a lot of things, a lot of the choices um, in our list. All right, so what's going on over here? What's going on over here? This Mill is awful for us. This is a tough matchup. They can have their crab. I'll kill it. I can kill the Mesmeric Orb with the. I can kill Mesmeric Orb. I do have a fetch in my hand. They don't have a way to make me shuffle yet. I could ignore the Archive Trap, and I could go after like the Drown or the Glimpse. Drown does hit my engine. Yeah, so next turn we'll probably bolt their crab. I think I just take the Glimpse and try to play around the Drown. Try not to fetch to turn on the Archive Trap. Let's just take the Glimpse. Let's not fetch. Alright, this feels like what Winota did when it got overcooked. You need to reset to a super basic foundation, take it a different direction. Well, I think the basic foundation of the deck is this, right? These two together. Right? Rockerick, Metamorphose. I do think this is like the foundation of the deck. And to an extent, Croxa. I like that Croxa gets 2 castings, but maybe Croxa's too slow, too fair. Crab to Crab. They played the Howler Fountain. Yeah, I don't know, Steve. It makes me wonder. Ooh, another fetch? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Kill this. The orb next. We kill the orb, make them discard. I think. Ooh, or we have to consider the following. I have to consider waiting on this K command. So I want to get both the Mesmeric and the Hedron Crab with the same card. We may draw something different that lets us not do that, but issues with that, of course, are they have this Drown, but I think we'll get to play around the Drown. Like, their deck's pretty linear. They probably will play the Orb unless they're trying to play around Gulligan's Command, I guess. They get a basic. Okay. Not really that interested in any of the things they milled over, so I guess that's a good thing. Planes. Alright, so let's play the Vantage. Just say go. So they're sitting on their Drown. Fascinating. Okay. Now I kind of wish I just cast it, though, because now I have a second one. I'm also okay with just, like, draw step K commanding them. Especially since I have the second Gulligan's Command. Like, they'll fight here with the Drown that we know about, most likely. This is a terrible matchup, if you're wondering. And I know that they have a not great record tonight. My opponent, 0-3. Although, in fairness, we're 1-3, not much better. But this matchup is tough. I really kind of hope they have the land and they play the Mesmeric Orb. It looks like they're not going to. Darn it. Oh, okay, well, cool. Problem solved. I'll just Dreadbore the crab. Extirpate my general? Okay. So their hand is Archive, and they're going to get to cast the Archive here because we're shuffling. We don't get a choice. Archive Trap, of course, is 0 mana when we shuffle. Extirpate forces me to shuffle. I do not get a choice. It is a split-second card. You cannot react to it. So they do get to Archive Trap us. I think I'm supposed to Dreadbore this. Pretty straightforward. Might be correct for me to just go ahead and fetch and go grab my basic mountain. Sorry, basic swamp before the archive goes off. He decided not to archive trap me. That's very strange. Okay. Now I'm kind of sad I played out my Bloodstained Mire. I was only going to fetch this if they got the archive trap off. Glimpse. Okay. They milled over a Croxa for me. I wonder if they aren't thinking about, I don't really want to turn on the archive trap that they missed. Don't really want to do that, folks. Oh, man. Like, there's a Croxa just waiting for us, folks. There is one swamp left in our deck. One of our swamps got milled over. They're going to Thought Scour me. Another Croxa. Maybe they were waiting until they had Drown in the Loch to protect this Mesmeric Orb. We may have just gotten got by their expert skills, although I could just finally top deck like a Hand Disruption. Ah, double Mesmeric. This is milling a lot. I don't even think I want to go get the basic Swampy. So many fetches. Makes us pretty vulnerable to what they're doing. We got 17 cards left. So I can K-Command make them discard the Archive Trap, take out the Mesmeric Orb #1. I'm still going to mill 2 cards from this Mesmeric Orb. Let's see, they're at 14. Croxa is the best threat. I'm just trying to see what lands are left in my library. I don't think I want to fetch more than once though, right? There's one Blood Moon left. I mean, every card that's still in my library, though, is so important, but I do need another black or red source, right? Like, we've got black, black here. I need red, red. Or I could do red, red, and black, black. So let's upkeep. During their upkeep, I'm going to go grab our Swampy. So I do need one more land. I do. That's all that's left. A bunch of, like, helixes and stuff. Did I not do that during their upkeep? Did I mess up? I thought I did do that during their upkeep, not their draw step. Did Moto betray me? Was I not paying attention? Well, that's game. That's too bad. I mean, mill is tough, but that's just really sad. I could have sworn that I was in their upkeep when I did that. Sorry, folks. Alright, Guttural Response works. That's like a little sad to see happen, because I did think through it and have the proper thoughts. I think I'm just too tired to double check that the I guess. I'm trying to think of how else that could have happened. I guess I was too tired. I don't know. That's all that I can think of for this league, right? Is just like just little tiny mistakes. Soren can go. Just little teeny tiny mistakes that added up to a loss. These are 2 mana inefficient. We don't really care that they make us a golem. 2 mana inefficient. Same reason. Same reason. I think the Croxes are slow, although Mill sets us up for a quick Crox. Yeah, that just sucks. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. I guess I wasn't paying attention because I did intend to do that during my opponent's upkeep or even my own turn to go grab the swamp. We knew there was a second swamp. I checked my graveyard to make sure that it was still in the deck. All the above. Clean to dust can go. That looks just good. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a little depressing. A little frustrating, but I get over it. I also don't have a lot of threats, so it might be correct for me to bring in like Nahiri or Showdown. I guess I always have Jegantha. It's a little frustrating, not tilting per se, but just frustrating. Maybe I should cut the do this. Maybe do that. Because I don't think we're going to be playing more than 1 or 2 Thrillings in the end. Like that's if you're looking at where I'm thinking of heading with the list, I'm thinking just 2 Discoveries and actually more Helixes because I think Helix is just reasonable right now. I think it's good, and I think it's the fact that it generates a golem is great. The fact that this card reads deal 3 damage to a target, gain us 3 life, make a 4/4 is just wonderful. It's the extra text this card needed, right? It's the extra text that all of our multicolored cards potentially have. This matchup's tough unless we want to add like more Nahiris and maybe a keep. Yeah, unless we want to add like Nahiri, we want to add Emrakul. Like this is a tough matchup. We have Leyline. Okay. If I'm going to do any fetching with this Mesa, I want to do it sooner than later. Show me archive traps number 1, 2, and 3. I don't have it. It's just Crocs here. Get a card. Fraying Sanity. I mean, I would love to get this match and still walk away with something for our league. And I'm sure the opponent's thinking the same thing. I think the hand disruption is so important for this matchup, though. Even though we're seeing Leyline, I don't cut them. Oh wow, they don't hit their land. Is this Thought Scour me? Is this Extirpate? Okay. Do not have a response. This is where I wish we had Dirty Rags. I feel like Ragavan would be so sweet for this matchup. I mean, there's several matchups where the Ragavan plan would be like awesome. So I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not I want to play the card. We haven't needed the Clean to Dust. I haven't been playing against any graveyard decks. It seems like everybody's just on Urza Saga. So that's your first Ragavan, maybe. See, now we're back to maybe doing this plan again. Cut the second Helix, second Rags, and maybe even sideboard the Sorin? No, I kind of like the Sorin. I think 2 of these are fine. 22 lands seems right. We could even do a 1-1 split on Blood Moon, but I really feel like This is what I want. I don't know. The Vins could be sideboarded. We could do like a 1-1 split, I guess. The guttural response is like is the most specific card. I don't want to cut any graveyard hate since I'm cutting the Cling maybe. Like I'm not cutting Surgicals or Kaya's or the Charm or the Spellbomb, right? I think 2 Needles and 2 Clarions has been a nice meta. Call. I think I'm just gonna cut the response. It's the most specific card on my sideboard. Maybe this looks better. I mean, Ragavan is just such a silly card. Alright, I'm gonna Morphos here. My best draws would be okay. Morphos again. Let's do red white. So Kaya's Guile. So we could Kaya. I'm just going to slam Showdown, I think. Crocs is gone, so we want Soldier or Human. We just slam a jam of this and see if we like it. So end up with some lands, a Fatal Push, and a Guile. We got those Hedron Crabs answered like hard. I think I should have cut the Kaya's Guile, by the way. That was a mistake. They do play that 1-draw spell. I don't know. We need to get a clock going. I need to do something. I mean, there's Kaya to think about. There's wish I had a creature. I mean, I guess I could play the Guile and make a creature. And I mean, like, I just need to get something going. I might actually do that. As weird as this line looks, like, I've got the Showdown going. They might have a Fatal Push in their hand. I don't know. Actually, maybe you cast a spell this turn. Actually, I might just Inquisition myself instead of spending the bolt, because I kind of want to... Okay, cancel. I should have played the Guile here instead of the one in my hand. I'm silly. Sorry about that, folks. That was silly of me. Let's kick it back to the opponent. And if they do finally find a crab, I guess they know about these, though. These get revealed, right? I think these are public, actually, info. So I messed up. I was supposed to play the Kaya's Guile that was here. That was silly of me. I was like, let's play Kaya's Guile. Oh, wait. I didn't play the freebie one. There's just like, tonight, folks, there's just been like lots of little mistakes. I can't explain them any other way than tired Sean. I really can't. Like, these are mistakes I just would not normally make. I'm trying to wrap my mind around them. They have Fatal Push. Like, why wouldn't I cast the Guile that was in my freebie zone? So in response to the Showdown going away, I will bolt my opponent? I'll bolt myself? What am I doing here? I can't bolt them. I do want to get the extra 1/1 counter on my Spirit. Does that not count? Oh, I'm an idiot. I needed to wait till this was triggered. Yeah, I'm just having lots of little like brain fart moments, like on top of one another. That's also embarrassing. I meant to wait for the trigger to resolve because that bolt was going to give me. I don't know why I did it in response. I meant to do it after. But I was actually considering bolting ourselves. because it gives us. All right, well, let's talk more play because I think all my brain needs to go towards this game, which is just so sad. The mush is complete. Like if I'm making even just like clear sequencing errors. All right, show me Eden Crab, number 1. So they were waiting to play out the crab until they had a land drop. They've got Ghost Quarter, then Ghost Quarter me, so that they can turn on the archive traps in their hand. Exile that. Hopefully I just get to it. This would be a 4/4 Spirit if I hadn't misplayed. Should be a 4/4 right now. Whew. I just wonder what they're drawing, you know? It's up to 2, so I can just plus her. Oh, you know what? Last turn I forgot to grab my companion even, didn't I? I could have cast Gigantha. Echoing Truth? Sure. Man, oh man. Yeah, Truth's fun. Even if I was to push now. What if they consider Ghost Quartering themselves? They're doing some draw step shenanigans. Sure. Alright, so Kaya takes out this crab. There's not very many things exiled, so I don't think trying to ultimate her faster does all that much for us. Gigantha still holding up Fatal Push. Excellent. Just like, let's just get through this match. Let's just get through this match. The bed, sleep. It's so close. We're so close. We're certainly no respecter of mill if I'm not going to play any cards for this matchup. I'm currently not. No cards really directly for this matchup. The disrespect is real, right? I wonder if their hand's just a bunch of Leyline of Sanctity, that they've just drawn the other Sanctities. Because they've really done very little. It could be that their hand also just needs specifically blue-black. Ooh, they are Ghost Quartering themselves. I'm going to kill that Ruins Crab in response. We'll Ghost Quarter myself. White Source. Half my Gigantha. Is that what we're doing? Morphos. really hate that I'm giving them extra turns to live. And one extra turn to live because I messed up with my... they do have paths. Okay. They have 11 life. There are 7 cards in exile. Is Kaya the plan? I don't very much have really any win conditions left. I have tons of answers. Don't really have win cons. So that's not good. Bunch of land. I hadn't thought about that, the fact that we only have a few threats makes us a little more vulnerable to decks like Mill, funny enough. We're not really doing all that much over there. It's a dead Inquisition. Alright, that's enough cards in exile, but Kaya can't actually kill them unless I take out these ley lines, right? Yeah, it does say target player. So actually that's not an avenue yet. I may not be able to win this, folks. Did they take my Croxus too? I think they did. Yeah, these are exiled. My General Ferrises are down. I mean, I have, like, Nahiri to draw to. Need them not to mill over. Oh, there she goes. I don't know if we really have ways to get there anymore. Yeah, Soren's not in. The Nahiri would have been an out to the ley lines. I have one more Vindicate. Let's see. I have a second Vindicate, and I do have that other Destroy an Enchantment effect. Hey, what's up, Philosopher? I think we might just lose here, though, depending on what they mill over. Yeah, there's my Rip Apart. So I can't kill them with my Kaya, because she does have to target. Yeah, camp is over. How about Mono Replenish? I'm going to bed, Equinox. This has been a miserable... I don't have enough brain to play any Magic, apparently. Yeah, no, Mill is tough for us. Like, we've played this matchup before. If I'm not going to bother to put cards in my sideboard for it, we just lose to it. But I think I'm fine with that. We did manage to draw one of the Vindicates. So I can blow up the Fraying Sanity and that not lose. But I'm just going to try to kill a Leyline. Prove a point. Show the point. Point being, I know that's what we have to remove, and I'm not able to. Too many of our Destroy enchantment effects went away. Like, I have a Nahiri, but that got milled over. We had a Rip Apart, got milled over. And then one of my 2 Vindicates got milled over. There's a Vandal Blast that does not do it. Just need like a Cryptic Command, right? Cryptic Command, bounce their Leyline, right? That's all we need, folks. That's all I need. Okay, Equinox. I feel like we really, really are, though, like, close to where this shell needs to be. Or kill this. I'm just like sitting here hoping for... That's really too bad that I can't Kaya somebody that has Leyline. Yeah, like a lot of the stuff in our deck, like everything from Kaya Ultimate to Inquisitions to my bolts, like they do care about Leyline. Games. Good luck with rest of your league. That is just too bad. So we had, this was like a humans league. Unfortunately, they milled over our outs to turn on the, something for me to think about. We should definitely stay as threat dense as possible when we're up against mill. I didn't think about them just, you know, surgicaling my General Ferris. Certainly, I'm used to Croxa being surgicaled. Yeah, I'm certainly used to the Croxas being surgical, but to have also my General Ferris is surgical, to have all these other pieces surgical, that was really unfortunate. I do wonder if a Ragavan build might be where we want to try again. Lowers the curve of the deck. It's essentially a mana dork for us in Mardu colors, which is unheard of, to have a mana dork in these colors. Which is why this card's actually maybe tearing up formats like Legacy and such. People are trying to master this card because it's, yeah, I mean it's a mana dork and he's kind of a pseudo mana dork in colors that have not had one before. And I do think he's nice in this shell where I have lots of cheap interaction and removal at the front end of this deck to make sure that he can get across the finish line of attacking our opponent. And the yeah, the treasure is very, very much treasured, right? The treasure tokens that he makes for us, like, help us kind of fuel the top end of our deck. So yeah, maybe I was a fool to consider cutting Monkey. I do think that there was a stark difference between the Monkey build and the non-Monkey build. I do think there was a difference. You wouldn't be too fussed about this. Mill is one of your decks, or you're either good against him or you're not. Yeah. I'm not dry Boromir. What I was sad was losing to humans. The new take on humans were really the only card that they've added. Some people are trying Recruiter. Other folks are trying Shardless. So that's kind of what I'm not miffed, but just a little disappointed. A little disappointed that that's all. Just a little disappointed. There's also this thing called variance. I should reacquaint myself with variance. But yeah, us playing powerful cards, like, we should be doing that. One of the reasons why I like this color combination outside of General Ferris is this is just a very reasonable color combination for Ragavan. The Ragavans will play nicely with our Blood Moon plan as well. I think a 3 of that card is great. Recruiter, Shardless, Sanctum Prelate are cool, nice for humans, but honestly aren't huge adds. Yeah, I think their deck is pretty much the same as it was before, right? Other than those inclusions, right? And I don't even think, I think Recruiter is actually really slow, but it's maybe it's fine with the combination of Noble Hierarch and Aether Vial. Maybe Recruiter's totally fine. I'm not going to start another league because I'm not sure this is the exact configuration I want to do. I kind of want to play another opponent, though, if we can just find somebody in the... Do I have enough points for a queue? I don't think I do. I think we spent all our remaining points on that last league. That did not go according to plan. Yeah, that's okay. Let's tourney practice. Yeah, I mean, Monkey does feel really nice in this deck. He does. Like, you combine him with... Mana's looked really nice. Monkey. Oh, Monkey. And take their points. Alright, so this would be a version playing all the different things we considered. But see, this is a Monkey without what? Without protection. I think I'm still supposed to slam it turn 1 unless they show us that they're clearly a deck that's going to, have the removal or block it. Yorion will have both. Most Yorion decks are going to have both the removal and blockers for Rags. But maybe we'll clear a path for this card. Even still. I'm leaning towards Terminate, so let's go Blood Crypt. Alright, Ragavan, let's see if you're worth it again. I mean, the card is. It's just, it can be matchup specific. Monkey. I mean, you put enough legendary creatures in this thing, and then all of a sudden you want Moxen, right? I still don't think I want Mox. Nah, I changed my mind. It's funny to think about, though. Sun Petal Grove. Just should attack first, see if I can get in. Wow, we get in with Monkey? Holy guacamole, Enchantress. That's what they're doing. And I know. I could like Blood Moon right now if I hit the right stuff. I know. It's stupid. It's crazy. We can Inquisition them. It's amazing. It's Metamorphose again. Alright, Ixalan's Binding, Solemnity, and Phyrexian Unlife. I care more about the Unlife. This actually buys them time. This doesn't really do anything. But I do care about that other card. I think I might even just Discovery, just so I don't waste that mana. The Blood Moon's not all that great here. I mean, it's gonna cut them on white, though, if we hit one. Well, there's only one Blood Moon in the main board, so maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that. Alright, we're drawing a Thoughtseize. I could have played the Enchantress's Presence, but that doesn't do anything for us. It does not do much. They played Blood Moon as well in some Enchantress decks. I like that, Equinox. That's sweet. It makes sense. We played the second Forest, right? Yeah, I mean, next turn we can General. Aegis. So I like clearing a path. Like I've said many times before, like it's important to clear a path for Monkey. We could wait a turn, I suppose. They're probably just binding. Well, they can't binding. They can't binding General Ferris. I mean, I kind of just like though continuing to pick apart their hand. I think a turn of terminate this guy, swing with Rags. I think that's totally defensible. Yeah, the Aegis of the Gods is kind of sweet, kind of spicy. Silphus. I mean, it's nice that it's multicolored, but my general is not on the table. I have little interest. I mean, I would love for them not to assemble their combo. I'd like for them not to answer my Rags and have a Solemnity. We could have played 2 of their spells already. I know, Monkey is just absurd. So there's the Solemnity. We hope they don't find the Unlife. Another Rags. Alright, so we have a Rockerick. Well, okay, so we have a Rockerick with... Gosh, this card's just so good. I really should be thinking of it as like a mana dork for non-green decks, right? It really is. This card really is. Like in a deck that has enough like removal and hand disruption to make sure this little guy gets through, as we do. I do think the Mardu is a good color combination for this. Another Solemnity. Alright, so let's play Rockerick and spend our treasures to Morphos, I think. Oh, sorry, I have land drop. I'm going to spend both my Morphos. You kidding me? You kidding me, chat? I'll spend one. Make at least one. There's a Kaya's Guile. Let's do it. Let's do that. Just get rid of their bin. I don't think it's significant, but I will. Make a dude, make a golem. We've got a lot of power. I'd almost have been tempted to take that one. It's a body and future rag hits could just be card draw. Yes, that is the temptation. Alright, enchantment destruction. I have a couple pieces of enchantment destruction. We should bring in the moon, right? Or maybe not. Maybe not. Rip apart, certainly. Yahiri, certainly. They play Utopia. Shoot, excuse me. They play Utopia Sprawl, right? Is there anything else that Kaya hits, or is that just a wash? Clarion hits their Deuter. Soren can go, but Nahiri stays. Giles can go. Even the K commands aren't that interesting to me. Surgical might be worth it here. I guess we should play Blood Moon too, then, to hope to just cut them on stuff. Not the best guy able to put lethal on the board. Oh, Monkey. I didn't like Moon, they looked safe from it. Don't they usually splash a third color, though, dry? I think we should play it for that edge to just hope. You're right, though. Maybe they were just two colors. If we get a third game, maybe we'll reconsider. Wow. Dirty Rags. Rags, you're so dirty. Rags, you're so dirty. Yeah, this guy's not on the stock build. Enchantress usually plays two colors with a slight splash. Slight splash. A slight splash. In the pool of life. Immediately slams base. Base. Guys, it's okay. We can draw one dead moon. I have a thrilling discovery. I'll just super aggressively vindicate my opponent, right? They slap Utopia Sprawl on this. Ah, Sithis. You're in the way of my Ragavan. I can't imagine they would block and kill this, right? I also have this Malakir Rebirth, which is awesome in this situation. Maybe they block. They don't. Alright. I just get to vindicate it anyway then. Fertile Ground. If you were them, you'd trade. I know, and that's the gross thing. I had the Malakir Rebirth. Vindicate. Turn 2, Vindicate. Turn 2, Vindicate. Ragavan, you're so dumb. This card's so dumb. This card's so dumb. This card's pretty dumb. Am I supposed to surgical this card? Isn't this like a really important piece of their puzzle? Maybe? No, let's attack. Isn't it? Couldn't I draw step surgical that? Jai says nope. Earlier you were trying to tell me that I should play Sithis of my own. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will. You'd want to surgical the lock pieces? Second Enchantress's presence. That's scary. Okay, we'll now draw 2 cards. I could, if I don't hit a land, which I haven't so far. Inquisition. Let's attack first. He will be monkey to our success. Yeah. Hoo ha. Attack for 3. Make a treasure. Forest enters the exile zone. Entering the exile zone is forest. Alright, Inquisition. Confinement. Probably need to take that. They have an unlife. That's the other piece. Let's thrilling. Dump the helix, dump the rebirth. There's a moon. Surgical the confinement for sure. I probably will surgical it during their draw step though. I do agree that confinement's one of their more important pieces. Their hand is kind of nothing. Correct, justice, or I think they have worships. One worship, they have an overwhelming splendor. Holy guacamole. How are you casting that again? They have a singleton Nykthos. I think, I don't know. I guess, well, Destiny Spinner, not Spinner, sorry, Sanctum Weaver. Okay. It's a humility, but I don't know. Oh, Fumigate. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I think there's some cutesiness going on here. I think this is a little adorbs. Still, it's not as fun as Enduring Ideal. Yeah, I think that Enduring Ideal is really sweet, Grony Phoenix. That's where I would expect to see that card, perhaps. The Humility effect. We do cut them on some cards if I moon, and we have got our treasures flowing. Case in point, we cut them on the Yori and they just put in their hand if I blood moon them. Right, we didn't see a basic. Yeah, they have a Ghost Quarter. They could have played out the Ghost Quarter. Could also just Thought Seize it. That seems reasonable too. just take it just so they can't draw another basic planes, because we did see quite a few basic planes. Let's attack first. See if we hit something that entices me. Phyrexian Unlife of my own. Guys, and would draw us a card. It would draw us a card. Gosh, I feel like this game is just reminding me that I'm kind of a crazy person not to consider whoops, I meant to play the Unlife. It's fine. I meant to play both and cash in the treasures. It's fine. Yeah, we draw a card even with Blood Moon, just our own Blood Moon. I meant to play their Phyrexian Unlife. I think I'm supposed to cash in the treasures there. Speaking of cashing in treasures, I might cash in a treasure for this Inquisition. Is there a way to get one of the sweet... You want to be in a Gundam, Equinox? Jade knows how to get to... Let's see, it's Jade. Who else? Oops. So Melfina knows. There's a few other people in my chat that know how to get to the... There's a place where you can actually select... do I want to cast this? I guess I do, because it draws us a card. I'm not going to Inquisition them. Oh, you know, I should have played my land and gotten my Gigantha. My bad. Watch us lose now, because I'm just playing poor. Yep, Greater Ornamency. Now I can't target. They draw a bunch of cards. Now we have Shroud. They won't. They can't Splendor us. Yes, that's what we're most concerned about. I should attack first. I did mean to put the Gigantha in my hand. There was no reason not to. It changes the clock. I mean, maybe I'll just draw a bunch of burn. Although, did I cut some? Oh, Mana Bloom. That's fun. I didn't cut any of our burn except for K commands, which is burn. So I can cast that. That draws us a card. Alright, anyways, let's mana Morphos for green and black. Mana Bloom. Draw a card. Inquisition you. Hit the Solemnity. Put the Giganth. I'm 1 mana shy of casting my Giganth. 1 treasure away. Bloom goes to their hand, though. Oh, shoot. You're right. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Mana Bloom has no... Uh-oh. Sphere of Safety, now I can't hit them. Yeah, you're right. It goes back to them. Mana Bloom's such cool technology. Now we just, like, lose, right? I mean, I was afraid when I saw double Enchantress's presence. Now I guess I see why we're seeing blue-white control play. That's going to go to their hand, isn't it? Yeah, they're the owner. Whoops. Oh, okay, thank goodness. Well, actually, we don't have lethal, though. Because I'm an idiot, because I didn't play my Gigantha earlier when I had the chance. Yeah, I can't even hit the sphere. I have to hit the aura. Oh boy. This is not going to be a win, right? I think we're going to lose this, folks. I have to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So I guess we kill that. And get in with Rags. The next thing I have to kill is the Phyrexian Unlife, right? The other thing I could have targeted, I could have blown up the forest, actually. Was that more correct? I think actually in retrospect, I think I was hasty in my decision. I can play their overwhelming splendor. I mean, I can't. It's too much mana. Yeah, I think I was supposed to vindicate their forest, actually. I don't think I was supposed to target the Greater Oromancy Phoenix. I think I was supposed to hit their forest. I think that's what I was supposed to do. Now it's, they're going to draw some cards. Oh boy. Is this another Enchantresses? How will they win here, though? We have a lot fewer cards than our opponent, so they just let us deck. They just sit behind like a lot of Sphere of Safety kind of effects. Yeah, it was bad that I cast this. Or if I was going to cast it, I needed to put charge counters on it. Why did you decide to put counters on this? Oh, they want the green mana, I guess. But usually you put 0 and you just want this to trigger these and trigger this, and anyway. Alright, we're really only scared of a second Sphere or Solemnity. I can Dreadbore this. Destiny Spinner. They can, however, animate a land to use to block, funny enough, with this card. Yeah, I kind of threw this away, didn't I? I think I'm in agreement with you, chat, by the way. I don't think their colors are nearly greedy enough for me to keep the Blood Moons in. So I have to figure something else out for those 2 slots next. I don't know. I mean, I do think that Kaya has targets. So they have 2 blockers. I can't remove them both. I can finally put the Giganta in play. I don't have a lot that I can do this turn. Am I supposed to bore these or not really? These are going to be big elementals, by the by. They're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s, 6 6s, 7 7s. I guess I should kill a spinner because it's enchantment count. I mean, what else am I really going to target? Like, yes, they have 1, 2 more Sithis in their list. I think we've lost this, folks. I think I messed up. It's okay. This is a place for learning. It's the practice room. And learn we shall. Learn we shall. Funny that Giganta has some nice natural synergy with the Blood Moon plan we have going on. It is nice that Giganta has that built-in synergy. Drysis is probably double Kaya. Yeah, I would think so. I'm surprised they don't have Leyline of Sanctity. Did we see Sanctity? Ooh, Eidolon of Blossoms, draw lots of cards. Eidolon of Blossoms, draw lots of cards. Where's Melfina when you need her? She's really into Pillow Fort, Enchantress. Phoenix says let them draw their deck. I mean, but they do have win conditions. Also, now I can't hurt them. Let them draw their deck, then we'll win. No, they have ways to beat us, right? They have a Destiny Spinner I haven't answered. They have Phyrexian Solemnity Lock. I can't actually damage them until I take care of one or the other piece. This locks you out. Players can't get counters. Phyrexian Unlife says that you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. As long as you have 0 or less life, all damage will be dealt as if it had Infect, but the way that Infect is dealt is in the form of players getting counters. It's fascinating, right? So they're going to Banishing Light my... what? Blood Moon. Again, this makes me think of like the mill matchup, right? Like I did see some players playing destroy all enchantments in their sideboards. If the Enchantress decks are that popular, I wonder if we should maybe even consider that kind of a card. I'd rather just play like Engineered Explosives for 3, though, because it takes out Presence, it takes out Unlife, Solemnity. I'd kind of rather do that. Engineered Explosives than something so specific. But I did see a blue-white control player playing a 2 of like the Destroy All Enchantments card. We got to have our fun with Ragavan, but we didn't put enough pressure on the opponent. Helix, it's not good enough. He's only 2 more cards away from having less cards. So I could kill this Eidolon of Blossoms. Helix also kills Spinner. I think I'm more scared of Spinner, right? Because he's just going to make an army. That's true. They control 9 enchantments, so there will be 9 9s. I mean, I can hit them to 0. It just doesn't matter, right? I could hit them to 0 here. It just doesn't really matter. Oh no, I'd have to have 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can get my Ragavan in and pay with Gigantha. Oh, yeah. I can't use them for generic, though. That's so funny. Oh, and I can't fetch right now because I've already... Yeah, this is like a really awkward thing about Moto. I actually do have enough to pay if I wanted to spend my treasures, but I needed to fetch before I went to the Declare Attackers, or I needed to do it here and like begin combat. If you try to do it here, I actually can't crack this with Marsh Flats anymore. And it's just... We've talked about this briefly in like Legacy. This is like a really kind of dumb... And I'm sure like what deck in Legacy does... There actually is Legacy Enchantress. I think that's where this came up. We were doing something that involved like, I don't know, Deathrite Shaman or something. But I remember this interaction coming up where Moto doesn't actually let you crack your fetches. Isn't that funny? I think it's kind of minimal though. Like, yes, I could have put them to 0 there, but it doesn't actually kill them. It just would let me... It'd be more easy for me to try to finish them off in the form of just removing the Solemnity. Or sorry, removing the Phyrexian Unlife. You like Opalescence as a deck? It's a neat deck. Shouldn't they be able to kill from here? I know we surgicaled the Solitary Confinement, but shouldn't they be able to win from here with the Sterling Grove? Guess I'm curious to see what other ways that they could maybe win. And of course, with Sterling Grove, I can't go after the Solemnity. Now we just play Draw Go. This is a lot of mana. Oh, they're playing Sigil. So they have a legitimate win condition. I won't beat that. They're going to have a bunch of Angels. Somebody earlier was saying that this matchup is kind of akin to Mill in that they're operating on an axis that is, once they get going, right, it's tough for me to do anything. Maybe we even want Sorin over Kaya number 2. I totally agree with that. I think that similar, I guess, in a sense, to how Mill is operating, I do think that Enchantress is operating on an axis that is... I do think that if we get a General Ferris going, we get a Ragavan going, we could certainly win this. You hear he's gas? Yeah, we do have a few like all-stars. I don't think I want to like skew my sideboard to try to fight specifically Enchantress. All right, let's play better. Win the match. Go to bed. Sweet. Don't have don't have Leyline. Guys, we could name Pirate on our Cavern of Souls. And his Poggers, let's go. Maybe I don't even bother Inquisitioning, right? Don't I just slam Rags? Alright, Modern's starting to get to that point. Like in Legacy, you can't come prepared for everything. I don't think you... I feel like Modern's been that way for a bit, though, hasn't it? You do have to have some matchups where you're just like, eh. Right? Maybe that's accentuated more. You're just Rags. Yeah, it's just Rags. Give him the Rags. Fortified Forest. Huh. Okay. Revealed a forest. Should attack first. A Destiny Spinner. Guys, we can have a Destiny Spinner. Creatures and enchantment spells I control, they can't be countered. I don't really care to play the Destiny Spinner. I'd rather just tear their hand apart, to be perfectly honest. I agree it's not worth much. Alright, so Spinner, Oromancy, Unlife, Circle. So what are they trying to cast next turn? I guess they could play Spinner, but we'll just rip it apart. Probably take the... I guess I take the Greater Oromancy. It's Greater Oromancy, right? I think it's Greater Oromancy. So that's what we'll do. And then the other take is Circle. Nah, I'll just take Spinner. Let's take Spinner. Tapped Sunpetal Grove. I'm with you. I feel like it's been less so. Most of the good decks have won through creatures or planeswalkers, which you can mainboard for, then sideboard for, Bravier combo, Tron, etc. True words. What did we hit? We saw a land, I'm guessing. Is that what I saw? Yeah, it's a Temple Garden. Let's get this Kaya going. Okay. Is there exile zone so far? Just don't want to forget about the Yorion. Play Unlife. Kaya does say deal damage, so I do care. Sanctum Waver doesn't have attack power, so I'm not interested in playing it. I mean, maybe I should just play it, though. It does represent a blocker. I guess if I'm not doing anything else with the mana, maybe I should just play it. And I do think I toast the Unlife. Kill the Unlife later. Yeah, I think Story Circle actually is more problematic. Let's actually just spend our turn putting our own companion in hand. Yeah, I do think that the story circle is more problematic than the unlife. So that's a fertile ground. That's just fertile ground. Maybe I should consider killing that. Consider killing the fertile ground. Vindicate would be a sweet draw for us. Hit that. I'm not going to kill it. I don't think I should. Don't think I will. There's a Sithis. I'm interested in the Sithis, right? We were interested in it last time. I think we're interested in it. Oh, sweet. Guys, we're just playing my opponent's deck. Sithis is stonks. It's the best hit. Is this the best hit? Sold, yeah. Not that the uncounterability matters. I'll play out my Giganth. Play out the Giganth. I feel like we're in a strong position. What is their turn? Play story circle, try to make something not kill them. I wish I had more of their cards in exile. This Kai doesn't deal very much damage right now. She deals 4 damage. They only have 4 cards in their exile zone. Ah. Ixalan's on the Giganth. No, they are binding my Kaya. Sure. This was not going to deal as much damage to you as the Giganth is about to. 1, 2, 3. Have 8 damage. Let's not forget about their Yorion. I mean, like, I could Thrilling. Oh, hang on. We maybe get to draw cards here, so we should start there. Because I have Sithis now. How is that not the best hit? No, it is. It is a really good hit. It's more like he's trying to lock us out of combat. Kaya is a tough. Yeah, I see what you're getting at, Dry. All right, so let's draw a card, maybe. Enchantress's Presence. Enchantress's Presence. Draw. I'm the Enchantress deck now. Guys, we're the Enchantress deck now. Did you know? Look at a bunch of cards. Ooh. Oh man. So many options. Why don't we start with an Inquisition though? Take the Oromancy? Isn't that what I'm more afraid of? That I can't target the Sphere of Safety? Nahiri, get back the Kaya? That seems good too. They have 3 white sources. I don't think the story circle is what I'm afraid of. I think I care more about the Greater Oromancy. Maybe I'm supposed to even go after their Fertile Ground. I don't know. Oromancy for sure. You know Ragavan's a stupid card when I own more of my opponent's cards than my opponent owns. I know. This whole time we've been playing this card again, I've just been sitting here saying how stupid it is. I mean, they're still dead, right? very close to dead. Yeah, we only put them to 1, right? Because they can story. Oh, or I just play Soren. And we do win. This isn't a defender, right? Yeah, it can attack. So let's pump the team. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, they still die because I can second main rip apart the Phyrexian Unlife. So we attack all. We kill them this turn. Actually, they didn't even need a story, right? Because since they have Phyrexian Unlife, we're putting them to 0 regardless. Like, first strike is where it's at when it comes to Phyrexian Unlife, because you want to put them to 0, then you want to start dealing Infect. We're not going to deal any Infect here. I'm just going to put them to -2, and then we will kill this. We did it. All right, on that note, yeah. Ragavan's a really good card. I should have never cut them. I should have never cut them. Why was I such a fool, chat? How foolish. How foolish of me to cut them. How foolish. Kneecaps broken. We broke their kneecaps for sure. I like how the deck curves even when I think about like the Croxes. Like, sure, you could put the Croxes here, you could put the Croxes here. I like to put my turn 1 tap lands in my 1s pile, because it is something you're doing turn 1, or you're playing a spell. I really like the way the deck's looking now. It's a very pretty deck. But I think it's powerful too. I like that we're a take on the general Ferris Rockrick archetype without, what's the word? Without, we're not doing like the 5-color, and maybe that's the better general, deck, right? Is the 5-color domain zoo build that plays Shardless Agent and such. But I kind of like the look of this better. Also, now you're not all in on Ferris. Yeah, we're not. Because I do think the dumb thing about Ragavan is like he is just that card's so dumb. That card's very dumb. I didn't need to play with the card myself to know that it was dumb, just to clarify, but the card is very dumb. The fact that the deck is now functioning without Ferris, yeah, the fact that we're functioning without him is important. I do think yeah, this is looking actually pretty good to me. I think we still have enough multicolored. That was one of the reasons why I moved away from Rags, maybe. But I feel like Rags just like complements the top end of the deck, right? Faster, General Ferris, everything. I mean, just I think this card really complements the rest of the shell. Oh, look at this beautiful deck, folks. Look at this beautiful deck. We've come a long way with this list already. I think it's getting there. I think it's getting there. I think this is getting there. Right, that's normally something that's been exclusive to green. Turn 2 Ferris, turn 3 Soren. Right. Play Sorin, make a golem plus Sorin, have blocking 5/4 lifelink golem. It's okay that the Sorin's after attacks, I think, because you still be setting up a 5/4 lifelink golem. Yeah, I've liked the Miser's main deck Sorin. I think the synergy he has for General Ferris um, certainly justifies the first copy. It's fine even if Sorin just tokens. Yeah, I could see you just minusing the Sorin as well. Ugh. I mean, arguably the best mode about this card is the +1 on it. He needs to be in the right shell though for where the +1 is like really important. Like you're some kind of mid range. This is mid rangey, right? We're kind of mid rangey, kind of hybrid combo-y. This hybrid combo-y mid rangey thing. Yeah. I don't think his emblem is the worst emblem I've ever seen on a Planeswalker. It's certainly no like Teferi emblem, but I think the reason you play this card is the plus ability. I think. Yeah, Sorin definitely is played for the +1. Yeah, for sure. It's a very unique anthem because it's until your next turn. It's a very unique anthem in that it's very offensive or defensive by nature. And yeah, what's cool is while you're applying that anthem to your table, you're also working towards his emblem, which in some cases I could see the emblem being better than plussing another time, right? Like he could come down plus, and then emblem. Depending on what my opponent's playing, like. And what's cool about it is it's not at the beginning of my upkeep; it's the beginning of their upkeep. So it does make them sacrifice right after we switch our Sorin into the emblem and paper so many people punt by attacking in. Yeah, I guess you don't have to say anything, right? Because it's not. It's like usually anthems don't last like that. Usually they're done at the end of your own turn. Like it's at the end of turn. It's very like rare that you see until your next turn, right? This until your next turn language is also the same language you see on the showdown. All right, folks. Well, I'm gonna end the stream. But this is a fun little two-part stream. I will grab us another stream to host a raid over to. Let's raid. Let's go say hi to somebody else. Somebody else has got to be playing some sweet Magic content. I see humans. I see Domain Zoo. Speaking of which, Domain Zoo, of course, is. Oh no, they're playing the Cascade deck now. Actually, Modern Affinity. Okay. Jund with Rags. Trying to see if there's anything super sweet that just like jumps out at me as something I'd really want to watch myself. Legacy 5-color elementals. Holy cow. Legacy Delver. Oh man. This stream here unfortunately is Portuguese, but they're playing with Urza Sagas. Why not? Oh, is Scroll Tribal modern scroll combo? I gotta see if this is modern squirrels. I think this might be where I'm sending you guys. Looks like they're trying to make the Squirrel Tribal deck work. Yeah, you too, Phoenix. I'm going to screenshot this and put it in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined my Discord, definitely consider it. That's a place where I share my lists, where you guys are welcome to share your lists. Why do we ever cut Ragavan? Thanks for that follow, by the way. Thanks for that follow, Reno. Welcome to the Brew Spy Show. Welcome to the Brew Crew, so to speak. Bear, I appreciate you, Bear. All right, let's see if he's actually playing what I think he's playing. Show me the list. Load, yeah. Ravenous Push, Squirrels, Squirrels, Squirrels. Cord. Toski. I could have sworn that he was also playing the... Why are we in the vintage section? Are we going to play some vintage? I'm so confused. Blood Artist. Like, this looks like a modern-ish... Well, maybe not really a modern deck, but kind of looks like a modern deck. Kind of curious if that's what they're doing. Oh. Are we doing vintage things? No, this is modern. Modern? Modern. I see Daredevils, Rebukes, Academy Manufacturers. So Cauldron. Huh. This looks kind of spicy. All right, I'll host over to this guy. This looks sweet. Go say hi for me, guys. Give him a nice Brew Spy hello from me. Or sorry, I'm going to raid AJV20. AJV20 _ Hit that button. Let's go say hi. This looks like they're about to play something really spicy. You don't want to miss it. Hit that button, folks. Let's go over there together, shall we?